Having student leaders was a game changer in my Writers Workshop program, one of many. And before you think, okay, student leaders, I know it's really important to get them involved, I want you to hear what happened with my class this year. You're going to want to hear this. Hi, I'm Robin Mellum, children's book author with HarperCollins and Disney Hyperion. I'm also a middle school teacher. I teach writing. And I've created a writer's workshop program that resembles more closely the real activities and routines that authors use when they are writing books. I found that when I left the classroom for a while to go write full-time, travel around the country and present to students and teachers, there was kind of a similar theme. There was like a low-level, like non-energetic feeling about the writing workshop that was going on in certain school districts. And so when I came back to the classroom and decided to revamp everything, one of the big things I changed was the role of the student in the program. Because I have found that they have been far too passive in the writing process. They come into the classroom, sit down in their desk, and then they wait. They wait to be told what to write about. They wait to be told where to write it. Oftentimes they're waiting for a worksheet to land on their desk and then to start filling it out. And I've noticed that many kids, when you start to get them on a writing assignment, and the first thing they'll say is, I don't know what to write. And then even if you're doing something high interest, it's about you, it's about some story in your past, they're still like, I don't know what to write. They're waiting for you to give them that starter sentence. And so oftentimes sentence frames and everything can help. But my program that I've created, it really kind of gets into the heart of the hard heart of the problem. Not just that they're having a difficult time doing sentences together in this way and doing subject verb agreement, all this stuff. It has to do with the fact that they feel like they don't have a voice. They feel like they have no confidence in their writing itself. And confidence will take you very far. And you have to build confidence by finding your own voice, which I have an activity for that I do to build their voice from the very beginning. It's the first thing I do each year. It's absolutely critical to getting them to believe that they can write, like create things in their head and put it on paper. They are just waiting. They're being too passive. So I made it that there are students who are the leaders in the program. There is someone who gets it started, welcomes everyone into the writer's workshop. They also do a warm-up with them, and the leader chooses what the warm-up's going to be. It's sort of like categories where they'll say, okay, everybody, in your journal, I want you to list 3 fruits that are red, or whatever. It's like a category and a color or a letter. They think of it. And while they're doing all of this, I am available, wandering, making sure that everything is all set, everything is secure. All the kids are doing what they're supposed to be doing. The leaders are leading it. And then the leader has the co-captain start the timer. So they're the ones who are going to do 60 seconds to write your 3 things. And then they call on the kids to share them. Then everybody calls it out. There's this whole set thing that we do. I'm not involved at all. It does take some work to get them trained to do this, but it is so powerful. I don't even know how to describe how powerful it is, except to say what happened with my class this year. So they have all these roles, and at the end of the quarter, we change. And so the end of the quarter came, and I had to make the announcements that we would now rotate, and we would have a new leader, a new captain, new co-captain, blah, blah, blah. I thought they were going to lose their minds. Like, one of them was nearly in tears, even though they knew at the very beginning that this is what was going to happen. We were going to rotate the roles. But they had come to feel so invested in the program and so invested in their role in it that it was emotional for them. I even had one of them sent me like a text. I let them text me because I have Google Voice, and if they do it before 4 o'clock, I'll respond to it. So she texted me and she said, I don't know how to explain this, but I was really looking forward to that every day, and now I don't have it. And I thought I was going to like start crying. And so I told her, you know, we're going to find a different way for you to get involved because it is really important for her. And so it's kind of a process to try and figure out how to get everybody involved as best you can. But there is this one part of it that I'm going to have her do for us. And so she was fine with that. But that it was like the reason why she wanted to be there, why she wanted to come, was to have this role of leading this part of our writing program. It's so powerful. It's amazing. So they're no longer passive. They're not waiting for a worksheet to land on their desk. They have their journal. They're looking at a student leader. They're not looking at me. They're going through this whole process, and they set their writing goals together as a class. They do length goals, and I have all of this outlined in my ebook, exactly how I do all of this. So if you're interested in this type of really powerful and dynamic writer's workshop, check out my ebook. And right now I'm actually going to take you to the inside of it, and I'm going to show you some parts where I get the student leaders set up, and I'll show you even the script that I use, part of it, so you can kind of get an idea as to what it looks like. So I will take you to my screen and show you how it's done. All right, so this is the inside of my ebook that I created for my structured writing workshop. And you guys, having student leaders was such a big change. It made such a huge difference in their engagement level. And I want to hop up here to, well, first, let me just show you a couple things inside here. I'm so happy to have this book ready and available for you all to see how I run this program and why I do this program. There's a whole section in here on the introduction of like what I learned from my editors at Disney and HarperCollins and how I use that in my own writer's workshop. I make sure that it resembles how real authors work in real life, their routines. And so I break it down. Let me show you the table of contents here. Why I do the structure, setting the scene, handing over the keys. That's the one I want to talk about right now, is handing over the keys. And that's how I get my kids involved in this. And there are some certain details in here that you're going to want to hear about. So let me hop up here. But I'm going to randomly hop through and show you a couple of things as well. In the ebook, I also have links to all of the videos that correspond with that particular part of the program. And then other links to other things you could grab, pictures of stuff that I do in the classroom, how I use technology in my writer's workshop. And then in chapter 3, we get into student leaders. And so what I have them do is the key to this is using scripts so that you have them, you put them in like a page protector, you make a binder, maybe you have a couple of desks at the front. You have a captain and you have a co-captain. Have them read through the script and they start the whole workshop off. And it's almost like a basketball team, essentially, is what we're doing. They get everybody warmed up. I can now help out the other students and everything gets lifted up off the ground really quickly. The kids aren't sitting there waiting for something, you know, they're not passively sitting there waiting for something. They're getting started right away. And then they do this thing where let me see if it's in here, but it basically, they tell the kids, okay, we're going to warm up. I want you to think of 3 things that are the color pink, 3 fruits, 3 desserts, 3 whatever. And the captains come up with whatever the warm-up's going to be. They get weirder and weirder each time that we do it. The co-captain times them for 60 seconds. Everything is timed so that we're like, boom, 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 going through this. And then when they're done, the captain calls on 3 people. And then whoever after they've called on them, then they say, everybody pick 1 on your list and say it out loud. And everybody goes, blah, blah. And it's like super fun and festive. And now everybody in your class has written down 3 things in their journal. And then they've said something out loud. And there's some research behind how if you work with a group of people in a meeting, this is with adults, that if you can get everybody to say something at the very beginning of the meeting, if you just go around and have everybody say, hi, I'm so-and-so, and I work in this department, there's like a way better chance that that person will then later share during the meeting. And I used to work at this I was a social worker, and he would have everybody talk before we got started because he wanted us all to talk more. And I think I took that idea and applied it to the workshop because I want them writing and talking right away. And then once they kind of come back together, like they're going to tell me to do my 7-minute lesson. And when you get into the ebook, hopefully you'll grab it. You'll see why I do a 7-minute lesson. Super important. And then they help as well. There's a section here that talks about how whenever there is a question in your writer's workshop, then they go ask the student leaders, what am I supposed to be writing about? What is the prompt for today? What were the spinner words for today? You as the teacher are not doing that stuff. You're helping, you're writing, you're involved, and the student leaders are taking over so much of this. So that's kind of what I wanted to show you for my student leaders chapter. And real quick here, I'm going to show you, like at the very end, I have this resources section, and it gives you an editable script that you can use. Here's the list of stuff that I put in the ebook. You get these all go to your Google Drive. You can edit them. You can have the trios, and there's a reason why I set them up as trios in there. Here's the student leader script. So you have a captain and a co-captain. This is a couple of pages long. And then, of course, you edit it to have, say, whatever it is that you would like to say, if there's something different, and make sure you don't use my name. You want to use your name. And then I also give personal record trackers. The student leaders are in charge of this as well. The students, every time we do the workshop, they set their goal, their line length, like they want to hit 7 lines worth this time. They draw a line, they try and hit that line. I'm going to get into a whole nother video on how to set goals and why that's so important and why that's so similar to how authors in real life do that. These are, you get the 6 skills, of course, and then this is how I assess them every once in a while. And then this helps with sentence complexity. And then there's some other added bonus things in here. But I did want to just kind of show you the ebook. It's over 70 pages. It basically tells you why my writer's workshop is now completely revamped. It totally mirrors what my life was like as a writer full time. And they're starting to see themselves as writers. And at the beginning of this year, I'll just tell you my own little personal story, was that I had to call every parent before the school year started to check in and say hello and introduce myself. And I asked them, how does your student feel about writing? 100% of them said they don't like it. They don't like it. I was like, well, I've got a challenge ahead. And now here we are. It's like end of October. They love Writer's Workshop. They love it. That's why they were almost in tears when their job had to be, rotated out to somebody else. They own it. It's their workshop. It's powerful. It's really powerful. So if you're not sure, you want to just look at a little bit more, I am going to give you a link to a free download of just the introduction so you can see where I came from and my journey from being a teacher and then going and writing for Disney and HarperCollins and speaking, and then bringing all of this back into the classroom, and how I really want to just share this with you guys so that you can see this in your classroom as well. Super fun. All right. Thanks for watching. I have more videos coming up, so make sure you subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.